by Prime Seller Leads and iVortex Media. Today we will be reviewing our new updates for the back end of your website. We just launched out Prime Seller Leads 3.0, added a brand new dashboard specifically to the CRM side of your website. It's going to be the first thing that you see when you log in. Again, that's what this will look like right here. Okay, and now if you do not see that it is live right now, you will need to clear your web browser's history and cache and refresh the page a few times. It was a huge update across thousands of accounts. Again, so please clear your web browser's history and cache. I'll review that in the end just so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so to start, let's go ahead and review specifically the dashboard of your Prime Seller Leads website. So under, if this doesn't, the first page that loads for you, under CRM, you can always access it right here. This is the new section that we added here, dashboard right under home. Okay, and it basically breaks down into a more comprehensive format all of your average full leads and average partial leads and all of that information, just so it's more readily available and you can make a more informed decision if you need to tweak your advertising or marketing campaign or would like to try an alternate advertising method, seeing how effective your campaigns are performing for you. So the first thing to take a look at here is you will see this. This is a total number of your full leads and a total number of your partial leads. Up here in the corner, this little notification icon. 2 just means there's 2 specific leads for today. For partial, 1 just means 1 partial lead for today. So this icon up in the right corner of your full and partial lead badges, you'll notice that that number reflects today's leads only. The total amount is right down here on the bottom of that specific badge. On top of that, you can see what these average full leads, the average home price for all of your full leads, and the average home price for all of your partial leads. So some good information right there, especially if you're trying to target luxury portfolios, any second home sales or any sales that have to deal with a specific number. So a great little tool right here to check the average home price for both your full and partial leads. Also, you can take a look at your total number of specific page views and all of that information right here on this badge. Now, the first part to really take notice to is that this date range, okay? So if you say, wait a minute, I have way more than 108 leads, then that's going to be because you can enter a custom date range right here underneath these new badges. So you can click on that right here. You can specifically look at today's, yesterday's information on your dashboard, the last 7 days, 30 months, this month, last month, and also a custom date range. So you can completely customize that. All you have to do is click on that. You get a nice little pop-up calendar, and you can enter that date range to whatever you'd like. So let's take a look at this month then. It populates that information right here. Okay, and then we have a great little tool over to the right of that, the top cities for leads. So now you're going to be targeting a more local area. Again, this website, the Las Vegas Sellers, is our demonstration site. So that it does come from all over the U.S. specifically for us. But you can see this great little breakdown. You can even zoom in and take a look at the top certain cities for where your leads are coming across. That way, say if you had a campaign going on in Las Vegas, Paradise, and Henderson in the Las Vegas area, and you have the same amount of money being spent on these 3 cities within your advertisements, if they don't show up as a top city, then you can sort of take a look and go, you know what, maybe we should restructure our targeting. You can also find that information in the Facebook Ads Manager if you're specifically running Facebook ads. Again, that information would be in AdWords if you're running Google AdWords. Honestly, we would highly suggest Facebook targeted advertising because it does outperform every other ad platform with our specific system. Okay, so some great new tools right here. Let's scroll down a little bit farther. Okay, perfect. So right here we have these badges specifically to show where these leads came from online. Okay, again, this number is going to correlate with this specific date range, okay? And so you can see if your different advertising campaigns are really playing out for you. You can get that full summary right here instead of the old CRM where you just saw all them in the refer columns with no actual data that's pre-populated for the total amount of leads from that specific ad platform. So great little tool to use right here. Also something to keep in mind, if you're a broker or an agent that has multiple agents on your account, the administrative one, the admin one, is the only one that's able to access and use this dashboard. Specifically for your agents, they will see the new colors and the updates as far as this. Everything's really in the same spot. It's just this new dashboard along with a new layout and design. So for agents specifically, for their own agent accounts, they will not have access to this dashboard. This is specifically for the administrator to take a look at the overall stats and adjust the campaign from there, okay? So again, we just reviewed these badges, specifically covering where each one of the leads came from. It gives you a full detailed list of which advertising effort is working for you and which one you might need to revise. Okay? Another great feature, and again, these are all from agent suggestions. We love hearing suggestions from all the agents in order to improve your experience with our product. And so one was that sort of the reporting for new updates and all of that was in Facebook, was in other areas. And if you're an agent that's not active on any one of those, then it's hard to sort of stay updated. So as a suggestion from an agent, we actually included so that whenever we make an update, we can message you directly on the back end and the dashboard of your Prime Seller Leads website. So you'll see that notification. It'll pop up right here in the news bubble. Okay, and once there is a message in there, you'll actually receive like this little status icon on the partial badge or the full lead badge. It'll say 1, 2, or as many pieces of news that are in there that you haven't read yet. You can click on that specific piece of news and it'll give you a pop-up box, which we'll go over in just a second. So that's a new section. Our latest news will be posted right here, and if you want to read more about it, all you do is click the Read More link, and then it gives you this pop-up. So, and this is just probably the first one you experienced if you've seen the update of Prime Seller Lead 3.0 on your back end. Just saying we completed a brand new redesign of the dashboard for our PSL members. Have any questions, need help understanding, that's why we're going over right now, or we'll also go over questions that you ask in the end about it. I'm happy to review that information with you as well. Also, right next to the news is going to be all of our updates for new videos. So anytime we have a new training video, instead of having to hunt us down on Facebook or look through your email, it'll be right on your dashboard so that you can easily access it. You can click right on it. It'll start playing automatically. You can go ahead and pause it, and it's right there with our specific Vimeo account, okay? And that's the Vimeo one is what we specifically have been using for all of our training webinars, client testimonials, and new releases. So you can get the news right here along the left-hand side. Again, you'll receive a notification right up here about that information. Or you can go ahead and a lot of the times we have a new video to help you walk through that. If you have any questions, though, farther than what the video covers or in this news, you're more than welcome to email, live chat, or call us. You can always, with this live chat option, get anyone here right away. Okay, so moving forward, this is just a brief overview. It's not the full CRM, but it does give you a preview of the last 10 leads. And since the dashboard is the first page that loads with new Prime Seller Leads 3.0, that if you're on the go and just saw a few leads come across, then you can log in and see that information right away. Okay, again, all of some of these areas are completely customizable in the CRM side, which basically looks the same since before the update. It's just a new coloring, layout, and design. So again, this is going to be the last 10 leads that you received just as an overview. Again, which agent it was assigned to if you had multiple agents on the account. Okay, something brand new that we also introduced is going to be identifying the traffic by that user's operating system and identifying the traffic by which browser those specific users are using. Now, something to keep in mind is that the traffic by operating system, traffic by browser, and also this information, the total visitors right here, we've only been tracking this data for the past few days since it is a brand new update for us. So it will not be a total, it will not total out to all of your leads altogether if you've been with us for a lot of months now here, a long time. So this has just been tracking for the past few days. So a good rule of thumb is to take today, and then anyone from this point forward, their information will be populated in these areas. Since it is a brand new feature, we're not able to backtrack and go ahead and log that data for you. But from this point forward, any leads from here on out, you can see their information, the traffic by operating system, traffic by browser, and also the total visitors right up in the corner there. Okay, so that's the only thing that we just recently started tracking for you as well. A brand new feature which helps a lot of brokers stay organized with their multiple agents, or if you have multiple agents on your account, is your top agents. You can see who's really performing their last login, how many leads specifically have been assigned to them. Again, we have 3 options for that. So if you're manually assigning, you can see if you're distributing those leads fairly and evenly throughout the day. Or we have a lot of great options for automatically assigning leads, if it's by map location, if it's the feeding frenzy option, or if it's round robin. Okay, so you can take a look at that. It shows you the top agents who are performing well with the system, also their last login dates, so you can at a glance make sure that they're staying proactive with their Prime Seller Leads account, and that your advertising money isn't just being spent for leads that they are not following up on. Okay, so a great little tool here, another request from another broker. Moving forward, a brand new feature, again, is going to be these updates down here for email and the agent autoresponder. So this is going to be the same as the email reports that was updated about 2 months ago in the back end of your site. We just give you a great little preview. And again, it's going to be this specific information is going to be the email report for both drip emails and the agent autoresponder. So it lumps them all together, lumps some general stats of how it is performing. Okay, so you can see how many were sent, how many people actually opened on it, clicked on it, hard bounces, soft bounces, rejects, complaints, unsubscribe, and then unique opens for people that have just recently signed up and have actually opened that information and are a new lead for you that's corresponding and going along with your email marketing campaign. Okay, so a great tool right here to see everything at a glance. Again, this information is also available in the reports and the email reports specifically. Probably the one that's going to provide the most value is specifically going to be the top drip emails. Okay, so this is specifically for the drip email campaign system and not the agent autoresponder. So you can see the ones that are the most read. You know, so you can go ahead and if you have one that isn't on this list, then we would highly suggest revising that in order to improve engagement rates and also people opening your email. So if it's a matter of the subject, if it's a matter of the actual body of the email itself, then this gives you the information that you need to make that informed decision in order to update and really focus in on your email campaigns as to what's more effective. Again, you can also track the most clicked. So out of all your drip emails, which one is the most clicked? So another thing to keep in mind is also what order these drip email campaigns or the email templates are in. So if you notice a trend that they start off reading one and then stop, 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 maybe it's just the order of it. Or if there's one further down that people are reading more, then that gives you a good indicator of the verbiage that you should be using for all of your email drip campaigns. Okay, so a great little tool here, top drip emails. And that basically covers the dashboard side of things. The other thing that I'd like to cover is our brand new mapping feature, which is located in the CRM. So again, this is your dashboard. We just reviewed all of this information. I'm happy to help answer questions at the very end about this or anything that we covered today. But let's go ahead and move forward to the new mapping feature on the CRM side of things. So if you go to CRM, and then let's go ahead along the left-hand side and click All Leads if you're following along. Okay, just loading real quick here. Maybe not real quick, like take its time. Okay, there we go. Okay, perfect. So the new icons that you should immediately notice are going to be in the top right-hand corner over here. And so these lines right here just represent the lead list itself, so in an actual list format. Or if you have your cursor, you can see lead location summary. So it's an actual map, and that's what I'd like to review with you right now. So let's go ahead and click this, or if you want, you can also access this information in the lead location summary map. That's going to be the same thing right under your reports, okay? So let's go ahead and click this icon. It'll take us to our map. Okay, perfect. There we go. All right, and so another brand new feature that I just want to review here with you. Okay, so yours really should be all focused in one major area to know that it is working correctly. Again, this is just our demonstration site, so we do have leads coming all over the U.S. and Canada there. So let's go ahead and take a look at the majority of our leads, and actually if you click on any one of these sections, it'll zoom in on that area. So we click on it, we take a closer look, the Las Vegas area. Go ahead and you can keep clicking forward. It'll actually go to the neighborhood level. It'll even zoom in that far. So say this is your area in the Las Vegas area. You can see where the largest clusters, again, are going to be in the red. The median ones are specifically going to be in yellow. And the smallest areas where you see the smallest lead flow will be in the blue. But you can actually see a pinpoint on the actual house that these people are looking for associated with the lead. So just like the CRM, but let's take a look specifically. Let's go to Winchester here. We're going to click on this. And there we go, okay? So you can actually see which house all of these leads were specifically interested in, okay? You can actually scroll over these push pins, and you get a nice little preview about that lead's name and the location. Or if you click on it, it does give you that as well. So if you're in a hurry and just want to look at it at a glance, that information will populate. Or you can click on it and go ahead and see that. So this really just provides you more information specifically for targeting if you have a specific zip code that you're really trying to hone in on, if that's where the majority of luxury portfolios are, or if that's where the high-rises, condos, whichever you're really trying to target with that specific advertisement. Then you can see if that's where the majority of leads are really coming from to see if your targeting is working correctly on your advertisement. So again, really it populates this information, shows it kind of all over the board right here, just because we've been running this campaign for almost a year now. But yeah, you can see all this information. Again, you can scroll over it, get a nice little preview about that lead, or click right on it and see that specifically. Okay, even a nice address, everything else like that. So again, this information is really just to further help identify if the targeting of your advertisement is really effective and you're reaching those specific sellers in those specific neighborhoods and subdivisions and even zip codes that you're looking for. So another great tool. Something else to notice on top of this is going to be the custom date range you can specifically enter. Again, it's going to be that same list: today, yesterday, last 7 days, 2 weeks, month, 3 months, and then a custom range, which again gives you this great little pop-up of the calendar that you can customize. You hit apply, so let's go ahead and let's look from the 5th to the 13th here. And then we click apply, and then that will populate that map with those specific leads that came across that custom date range on your CRM and to your website there. So again, just taking a second to populate that information. There we go, and you can see the numbers drop way down just because we have that custom date range just a few weeks to see when they came across. So if you made an update to your campaign, if you made an update to your specific campaign there and wanted to see how effective it was, you can track it with this new mapping feature to see if you're honing in on new zip codes, anything else like that, and how effective it was. Again, that was just the specific custom date range. Okay, and now moving forward here, again, if you have any specific questions about this, I'll open the last 10 to 15 minutes up to review those questions for you. But something else I'd like to review now that I'm on custom date range is if everyone goes back to the dashboard, one thing that I forgot to mention in the beginning I'd like to review is that this date range is going to be for all of this information except for the actual top agents, okay? So you can customize that specific date range right here for your top agents. If you're trying to update that up here, right, with this custom date range, it will not show that on the top agents. You have your own custom date range for that. So if a new agent joins your team, you want to check their progress as to which day they were signed up with this, or if overall stats or a specific date range, then you can customize that right here. Moving forward, the last area that I'd like to cover for today's webinar before I open it up for questions is going to be the actual reports. Okay, so some of these are the same, some of them look a little bit different, but we can go through each one of these right now. So in the top navigation menu of reports, if you click on Statistics Summary, you can go ahead and get the statistics specifically for all your leads. So just another area, it shows it over a date range that's a little more comprehensive than seeing that map itself. So mapping is going to be really about the targeting of your advertisement and how that affects it. But this shows really, say if you updated your advertisement on the 15th, then you can notice and take a look at how that affected your ads and your lead flow. Again, we also provide you with how many leads were generated, how many partial leads were generated, average full leads home price, average partial leads home price. So that preview that we saw at the top of the new dashboard is actually reflected and goes into further detail with the site statistics summary. Okay, so a great report to check out. We highly suggest looking at it, and you can break it down and even enter a custom date range as well. So say you do update, let's go back here, say we updated our ad campaign on May 7th, and stopped it on June 10th. We can go ahead and enter that in the custom date range and then hit search, and then we're provided with this customized report. So if you need to check that out, or if your marketing team is on and wants to check out this information to see if those updates are effective, this is a great area to go ahead and check that information out. Again, we show you preview that in the dashboard. So if we go back specifically to the dashboard, those are the first badges right at the very top. Okay, so the full leads, partial leads, and then the average home price and all of that information right here. So this is it at a glance, and you can customize it and see this information populated. Or if you want an in-depth summary of everything that's happened with the interactions on your account, then you go to Reports and Statistics Summary, and then you're provided with an in-depth view of what has happened specifically. So the dashboard is at a glance, and then if you want a little more detailed or customized report, then you're going to go to Reports and Statistics Summary, and we provide you with all of that information right here. Okay, moving forward through the reports, we're going to cover the lead location summary map. So again, this is going to be a summary, the actual map for the CRM that we went over. Okay, that's going to be the same area. You can either access it right here or lead location summary map, same thing, okay? So if you went to CRM and then clicked all leads and then clicked on this push pin, it'll show you this, or you can access that right here. So two areas to access the same thing. Again, the settings save as soon as you update that. So if you keep trying to log in and see the regular list, you have to click this button again in order to see the actual CRM list instead of a map location lead summary. Okay, so it's just populating that information real quick here. Going back to the regular CRM that everyone was using before Prime Seller Leads 3.0 update. Okay, perfect. And then it takes us back to what everyone's used to seeing with the back end of their website. Okay, so again, you can click back and forth. Just remember that these settings save. So in order to go back to the original, you have to click on one of these two. Or if you want to access that map location again, it's Reports and Lead Location Summary Map. So that's one of our brand new updates for you with Prime Seller Leads 3.0. The last one I just want to cover is sort of an overview. The geographical statistics sort of is an overview for the lead location summary map. So if you click on that, you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. Okay, so you can see just an overview of where these leads are coming from. Again, the orange to blue range, orange is going to be leads, not the smaller amount of leads that you've received. Blue is going to be the state that is producing the highest for you. Okay, so this is just a general overview of what the information that is covered in the lead location summary map, or again, you can access that CRM all leads and choose between those two icons to either see a lead list or a map location lead summary. Okay? So really, that covers everything with the new update for Prime Seller Leads 3.0. Again, the only difference is going to be this new dashboard in the CRM section of your website. It's the first page that loads for everyone. And also that specifically new the lead location summary map, which you can access right here, or by clicking that push pin in CRM and all leads, and you can see that information. Again, if you're not able to see this information, then what you'll have to do is clear your web browser's history and cache. So depending on what web browser you're using, if it's Internet Explorer, if it's Mozilla Firefox, if it's Chrome, Internet Safari, anything like that, they'll be in different sections, but specifically for Chrome, I'll review that right now. So if you're a Chrome user, you go to these little three tabs at the top, and then history right here shows you a full history of everything that's happened. You can go ahead and you're going to click clear browsing data and the beginning of time, and you just hit clear. I'm not going to do it right now because it'll log me out of everything. So that's how you do it to clear your cache and history. Now, as soon as you do that, what you're going to do is hit this refresh icon if you're a Chrome user. Again, you can always double-click the actual domain and hit enter, and it will refresh that as well. Okay, so if you do not see this, it was a huge update. We had to update thousands and thousands of accounts in order to make it go across for everybody. So if you notice that you're not seeing what I'm seeing with this new back end and the dashboard and everything else, then what happens is your web browser can store that old code on file, so you have to clear out your cache and history. Okay, so if you are not seeing that, please clear out your web browser's cache and history and then refresh your page. Sometimes it may take up to 4 to 5 times to refresh it. Okay, so play around with that, but if you're having any issues after that point, feel free to call us at 888-485-4234, and we're happy to walk you through that process. Okay, so right now I'd like to open up the end of the webinar specifically for questions about the new Prime Seller Leads 3.0 update. Anything that we covered, if it helps, I'm logging back into the dashboard right here. So any of this information or any of the new reporting system, if you have any specific questions, I'm happy to help answer that for you right now. Let me go through. Looks like we got a slew of questions here coming in. Okay, so good question by Meredith. She asked is there a way to put all these different features in a different order, so the most important to us show at the top. So right now there is not a way to customize this, the actual format of it. The format of it is as it is right now, so this is going to stay the same. The only thing that will update that is important to you is going to be these leads that come in, the top 10 leads. Last 10 leads, excuse me. Also, all your new information right here for latest news, all of that. So the format is really as it is right now. It's not customizable. But yeah, thank you for that suggestion, though, Meredith. We'll definitely put that into play and bring it up to the team moving forward. So a few more questions coming in here. Okay, yeah, good question there, John. John was asking just as a perspective of a new user for Prime Seller Leads, he wants to know where he can get answers about email, duration, time to send, settings. Just so it's basically like a good follow-up strategy for your email drip campaign system. What I can say specifically is that what a lot of agents do is that based on how they qualify the lead, so meaning on the interested in section. So if we go to our CRM and then all leads, we'll be taken to that lead list again. And so based on how you qualify them, so these leads have a section, John, where they can go ahead and enter if they're interested in selling their home, like look right here, selling my home. Sometimes they even fill out 1 to 3 months, 6 to 8 months, something else, like any of that custom range. Like look right here, okay, so selling my home 3 to 12 months. Okay, so that means that that lead between a 3 to 12-month period from signing up and registering on your website, that they might go ahead and list in 12 months' time. So what a lot of agents do is they'll create campaigns that are different durations. They'll go ahead and have one that's a year long, 2 years long, one that's 6 months long, one that's 3 months long. And what they'll do is based on if they fill out this interested in section in their plans, that they'll put that lead on an email drip campaign that is that amount long is when they're interested in selling, so that you can stay in constant contact with them, just so you're a reminder, and that once they get to that point of listing, that you've already contacted them so many times that by you having their name in their head, all of that, that they're more than likely to list with you. That's just a basic suggestion again, but what we have started hosting, John, since you are a new user, is that 2 to 3 times a month we have real estate trainers and brokers provide training webinars for successful follow-up strategies. And so after this, I'm happy to help provide you that link. I'll take a note of it right here. So that's a great tool. We had hundreds of agents register for that last webinar hosted by John Poley, who's a real estate trainer and broker and loves using our system and sharing his successful follow-up techniques. So honestly, you're going to get a lot better advice from an actual trainer and broker than the techies here who build the system. So yeah, something to look out for, John. I'll send you that link, and we'll also post it to the Facebook group so everyone can be ready for the next training webinar by a real estate coach, which is free of charge for every Prime Seller Leads agent. Okay, so moving on forward, I have a few more questions coming in. Okay, by Gary here, just asking on the dashboard if we clicking on the full leads, shouldn't that take us to the full leads section? Good question. It's probably very easy to make that link happen. Let's take a look at it right now. Again, right now we just have it set up as an overview of everything that has happened. But again, we love our suggestions here from agents, so definitely a good suggestion, Gary. I'm writing it down right now. And I can definitely give you an ETA once I talk to the senior project manager about that. Okay, so I'll go ahead and provide that information, see a few more questions coming in here. Okay, yeah. So John asking more about the email drip campaign system itself, duration and all of that. Okay, so anytime you see a time setting on any part of Prime Seller Leads, it's set up in military time just because that's how servers are programmed and everything else like that is in military time. So anytime you see that, it can go anywhere from 0.00 all the way to 23:59. Okay, so that's just going to be each hour throughout the day in military time. Duration is going to be based on after you assign that lead to a drip email campaign, how long it will wait until that message is sent out. So that's going to be those specific settings that you're talking about. Okay, and so, yeah, another great suggestion. Looks like everyone's agreeing with Gary there that the badges on the dashboard should be links to further information. Great suggestion. Okay, just got your request there, Patrick. I'll follow up with a specific email on how to link those websites there for you. It takes less than 30 seconds for us to do. Just making a quick note of it here before we end today's webinar. And we'll do that and take care of that for you, Patrick, and email you once that's taken care of. Again, that's what Patrick is talking about there and requesting is that if you have multiple websites with us, we do have the ability to link those websites so that by logging into any one of them, you can navigate between one or all 10 if you have 10 websites, okay? So that's another option if you would like for us to do that. Again, please call 888-485-4234. I'll take care of yours, Patrick, because I see your information right here, and I'll just notify you via email once that is complete. Okay, so looks like just a few more questions to cover. Another one that's just asked is, what if my update isn't live? Again, that's just going to be clearing your web browser's history in cache, and then from there refreshing the page. Again, if you cannot see that information happening live, then please call in, live chat with us, or email. We're always happy to help answer those questions for you. Okay, another question that we covered in the beginning, what info updates when I add a custom date range? Okay, so specifically to review again, this custom date range right here at the top is going to be specifically for everything except for Top Agents. Top Agents has its own custom date range with the new dashboard on Prime Seller Leads 3.0. Okay, and okay, here's a good question too. Do my agents have dashboards? Okay, so since this is an overall site summary that we just provide the administrators of the accounts with this information so that, I mean, there's not going to be individual dashboards for each agent. The dashboard is specifically for the administrator on the account. Okay, let me see if there's any more coming in. Okay, so one from Rose here asking that she's noticed many other similar lead generation systems in her area. How do we make ours stand out from others? Okay, well, I have some good news for you, Rose, is that our system compared to every other one that's on the market today, we already start out with a higher conversion rate. So right out the get-go there, I mean, you're going to be converting leads higher than any of these other seller-themed websites. Traditionally, most seller-themed websites convert right around 6% or lower, and that's going to be a conversion rate of all online traffic into leads. For ours specifically, our promise is right between 15 to 35%. So 15 to 35% of all online traffic that visits your website should end up turning into a lead. And we also have some agents that are reporting 66% conversion rates specifically for their market. So it can even go higher, you know. So the design and everything else that's put in place, we spent years perfecting for you agents. So that, I mean, right out of the get-go, you're going to be converting higher than any other seller-themed website on the market. Something else that can help stand out specifically with your website, I mean, the only biggest factors when it comes to the front end of your website, and if you want to follow along real quick under settings and then set page content, that always takes you to our live editor of the front end of the website that all the leads see, Rose. And so right here, what you really want is that you have custom wallpaper photos that are HD quality. That's going to be the biggest thing that stands out. If it's blurry or fuzzy in the tiniest bit, that's when leads tend to think that it's not a trustworthy site, or they don't want to enter their information and kind of look sloppy. So any custom HD photo, we're happy to send you the requirements of what that is. It's usually 800 by 1,000 or larger, specifically pixels, that is. Specifically for uploading to the back end here. A great website if you want to purchase some great custom HD photos and own the copyrights to. That's going to be called 123rf.com. So the number is 123rf. So 123randyfrank.com. Okay, you can purchase custom HD photos of your area. Very easy to do, and you own the copyrights too so that you can use them in advertising without fear of getting in trouble from the actual photographer. Okay, so another great question there by Rose. So really the biggest defining factor, I mean, you're already converting at a higher percentage. The leads convert at a lower cost per rate anyway, $1.50 to $6 per full lead. And there's a lot of transparency with us. You see the cost per click, all of that. But as far as making your website stand out, just having some great custom photos, HD photos of your area, clear quality. And the other thing I would honestly suggest is don't fill this up with too many words. We have a lot of agents that like to say it's a hot market right now, see what your home would sell for, all this info, and they just bombard the user with too much information. A simple and compelling call to action goes a long way. If you have a huge paragraph on this front end, one, the more that they have to read, more than likely the user will leave your website a lot quicker. So the very easy, simple, compelling call to action that explains the functionality of your site. We always start you off, how much is your home or condo worth? Again, this is a snippet code that detects the user's location based on their computer's IP address. You can easily remove that. So a simple, compelling call to action is very effective in marketing. Just because also if you have to tweak or update it, if you have a huge paragraph, there's so many things you can tweak that really could affect it. So starting out with a simpler wording is always best. Okay? And we honestly, based on the ones we start you off with, are the best suggestions and the wording that does perform the best from our data. So we definitely get you started with some great wording and verbiage right away for the marketing of that. Okay, so hopefully that answered your questions there, Rose. So yeah, that really sums it up for today's webinar. Again, we went over Prime Seller Leads 3.0. We covered all of the new upgrades and the new lead location summary map. So you can see all that information, seeing if the targeting of your advertising is very effective. Okay, so any questions after that point, feel free. Okay, got one last question I'll take care of from Terrence here since it just came in. Your thoughts on using website with a postcard direct mail campaign? Honestly, my thoughts are nearly going to be as full as John Poley's thoughts, our real estate trainer. I do have one interesting bit of information, though, is that I did speak with an agent recently that is trying the effectiveness of the campaign of handwritten cards versus actual computer-generated ones. And so they on the handwritten card, they put a subdomain on there so they can track from their direct mail campaign who actually typed that in directly and went about it like that. So again, we do start you off with 10 subdomains automatically. So that could be something to try with that direct mailing campaign. But honestly, I would go with John Poley's advice or any of our real estate trainers. Would schedule webinars 2 to 3 times per week. Okay, so that really covers it for today's webinar. Again, we went over the new dashboard in the back end of the Prime Seller Leads 3.0, covered all these new reporting systems for statistics summary, lead location summary map, and the geographical statistics. So after this point, if you have any questions, feel free to call us or email or live chat right in the bottom here, the back end of your website. Always happy to help answer those questions for you. So that sums it up for today's webinar. I thank everyone for coming out and providing their insight and training further with our system. And if you have any suggestions, questions, feel free to call us, email, live chat. Always happy to hear what you have to say about our product. So thank you, everyone, for coming out. Again, we'll have 2 more webinars tomorrow, Tuesday and Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming out, and we look forward to seeing you in the future. Okay, thanks.